Hi everyone, I'm your Thursday host for Witchy Wisdom 1, and today's topic is about the Book of Shadows. Now, I've had a bit of a struggle with a Book of Shadows recently, in this recent year, because my path has changed from sort of being a practicing Wiccan to a practicing pantheist, and it's kind of weird when you change so drastically like that. So a lot of things that I had in my Book of Shadows before were like kind of worthless to me now, but still I'm going to do a video on the Book of Shadows, and I'm going to base it on the Wiccan Book of Shadows. So I've got a collection of all my Books of Shadows that I've had before this year, and yeah, just talk to you about that. So the obvious way of doing a Book of Shadows is to get just a notebook of any size. This one's A5, I think, and write in it. And this is what I did in my first Book of Shadows. I mean, look at how rubbish that is. That's my title page and a little drawing. And this has just got loads of messy writing on things that I learned off books and off the internet, all these things that I did when I was about 13 or 14. So that's that. And that's quite an easy way of getting all your information together. But if you we're thinking about being more organised. I know this isn't organised at all, but this is my second Book of Shadows that I did afterwards, and it's got a little book blessing here, and then it's got plastic wallets full of just information that I've got off the internet and just correspondences and stuff. And just, I don't know, rituals, ideas for Sabbats. I've got a little story here that me and my brother did. Yeah, astrology, all these sorts of things. And I put them there, and then at the back I have some folder full of stuff that I collected out of diaries I had and just printouts and stuff. So that was my second Book of Shadows, and then after that I wanted to get one of those big leather-bound ones and go crazy about that one, but they were all like hundreds of pounds, and by that time I was about 15 or something, and I decided the best way to go was to get a scrapbook. Now this is really big, so it's not very full because, I don't know, you just need a little bit of paper. And also this is the one that I've kind of been using before this year now. So it's like a scrapbook, it's a post-bound one. And I'd really suggest this one. If you've got money and want to invest on a bigger Book of Shadows, I suggest getting a post-bound scrapbook, because then you can add pages like a ring binder, but it's pretty like a book. So yeah. So I've got the crown chakra here, which represents spirituality, and I'd already kind of gone off Wicca by then a little bit. But nonetheless, it's got all your usual Book of Shadow things, like the Wiccan Read, and let's see if I can do this. That's all the Wiccan Read. The Charge of the Goddess, and then the Charge of the God, and I've been using them before, and I still think that they're really, really like sacred texts, but I don't know, they just weren't really relevant to what I practice today. So those are the books of shadows, and later if I have time I'm going to go into the things that you can put into a book of shadows, because some people are like, and like I was one of these people, because when I was just starting out when I was 13 or 14, I didn't know what I put in my book. I just kind of, in this one, I just jammed it all in really without thinking, and I mean that's a good way to do it, but it's like sometimes I just got annoyed because I couldn't find things, I didn't do a contents or anything. But the third one I showed you was very organised, and I still do continue to work on it sometimes, but it just seems a little bit pointless. And another thing that a witch or a Wiccan has is a book of mirrors, and basically what this is just a diary, and I mean, it's a spiritual diary, but I wrote it as if it was a diary, so there's lots of swear words in there. And I've got 2 of them because I managed to fill up one. Yeah, these are just A5 ones, and I just find that it helps if you channel your feelings into a book. I've got a dreams diary, because back in the day when I used to oh, it's got some drawings in it. Anyway, back in the day when I used to do spells and stuff, I used to kind of look at the dreams that I'd written down and do divination on it and stuff. This book, this little one here, isn't very full, but what it does have in it is little things that I can do for just little, I don't know, things that I want to do with spirituality. So like, just go on a walk in some place that I have and connect with the energies and meditation and all that sort of thing that I wanted to do. Alright, we've got a little bit of time left, so I'm going to give you some ideas about the some things that you can put in your book of shadows. In this one here, I have a contents, and it's background shadows, building shadows, performing shadows, and challenging shadows. And the idea is that background shadows would give the background information about Wicca. Building shadows, okay, let me just have a look, would be all like the research for divination and correspondences. Performing shadows would be like rituals and sabbats and stuff like that. And challenging shadows would be all of the things that were quite like philosophical and stuff. Oh, let me just get that. Like astral projection and like life after death, ghosts, all that sort of thing. But I didn't get very far. I only got really to, I almost finished background shadows, which isn't very much, before I kind of realised that it wasn't really my path. But you know, it's a very versatile path, and Wicca is still a part of me, even though I'm a pantheist. So I'm sort of like a pantheist Wiccan, if you catch my drift. But it's harder to it's harder to practice, because in Wicca there's a definite like masculine and feminine god, and it's difficult to practice if you don't have a god to worship to, if you're a pantheist or an atheist or something like that, especially if you're like me and don't do spells. So it's like, it's hard. But yeah, I did enjoy doing my Book of Shadows, and as I said, I do refer to it and go back to it sometimes just because it's creative and it's nice to do. And I carry on with my Book of Mirrors, which is sort of a diary. So anyway, I hope this helped you. It was just some brief ideas. I mean, loads of people can put whatever they want in their Book of Shadows. It's completely personal and up to you. Alright then, bye!